So we have a bevy of topics to get to today, ladies and gentlemen, as we have Art Monk getting his jersey in the rafters, long overdue. Philadelphia Eagles fans are furious that Jaden Daniels is placed in the top five above Jalen Hurts. Terry McLaurin speaking to the media and is spotted in the Eastern Motors commercial outfit. What does that mean? And last but not least, Washington Commanders rookie remains unsigned. What's the update on that? And also, Frankie Louisville is placed in the top five as well. All that and more coming up. Let's talk about it.
The way that we live is not for everybody.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career and he's already milking injuries?
Please stop saying my name, you dick riding bastard.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We have the Washington Commanders live stream, and in today's live stream, I'm coming on here with a bevy of topics for you all, as we just discussed in the intro. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this and go live like this to the channel as well. Subscribe to 4th and 1. Those links are down below in the description, and I apologize in advance if my computer is bugging. Again, there is currently a GoFundMe going out to help me. You can donate if you're in a position to help me get a new computer. And I do want to make this clear when I have made the page. I'm not relying solely on people's donations to get this thing. I'm going to obviously still work and spend majority of the money for myself because it obviously is my investment. But if you guys want to help me reach that goal, that link is down below in the description. But let's get to it now, okay? Let's get to it. So first and foremost, man, I definitely want to pay my respects to the legend, Art Monk, for getting his jerseys in the rafters. Finally, time is overdue. This should have been done years ago. So shout out to Art Monk. There you go. Art Monk will now join Sammy Ball in the rafters as one of the few Washington Commanders players to have their jersey numbers retired. And I believe Daryl Green got his done last year as well. So this is a great accomplishment by not just Art Monk himself, but the organization for cleaning up yet another mess that should have never, ever truly been created in the first place. Art Monk should have had his jersey number retired, like years ago, like probably before I was even, born or really watching ball. This should have been something that was taken care of, but obviously due to the last regime and the last organization and how piss poor they was with managing jersey retirements and showing appreciation for players and the players that actually, led this team to victory and Super Bowls and etc. We had to deal with this. So shout out to the Washington Commanders new ownership for getting this done. As you see, I got the Monk jersey on right now. Have I ever watched Art Monk play live? No, I have not. But that doesn't stop me from supporting the older generation. I see, look. I'm not trying to throw shots, but I'm not Dan Snyder. You know what I'm saying? I pay attention to my history. I actually support my older generation, even if I don't, have ever seen them play. So shout out to Art Monk. I know a lot of you all grew up watching Art Monk. So if you want to comment down below your favorite memory of Art Monk and what do you remember from watching him play and etc., feel free, as we will be going through the comments section and giving some comments live on air. In regards to Art Monk and jersey retirement. And it's crazy because I think I just saw it on Adam Schefter's Instagram page that it's just him. I think it's Sean Taylor as well, right? Daryl Green as the only players in the franchise to have their jersey retired. And that's crazy to me. Like, I get it, right? Like, you don't need to have everybody's jersey retired, but for this to be one of the staple franchises of the NFL, one of the franchises that, paved the way for this whole entire league, to only have Daryl Green, Art Monk, Sammy Ball, Bobby Mitchell, Sonny Jurgensen as the only guys to have their jersey retired, bro. That's kind of insane if you ask me. But I'm sure by the time Josh Harris is here, and the longer he's here, the more we'll clean up, some of the past things that should have been taken care of. Like, I'm sure a lot of you all could riddle off plenty of Washington Commanders players / Redskin players that you feel as though should have been retired and paid their respects to. But shout out to Art Monk. I'm first and foremost, I'm glad they did this while he's still here. You know what I'm saying? I really, something that I really dislike, and not that you can truly control this, but something that I dislike is, giving people their flowers once they're no longer here to receive them. So that's why anytime with my personal, saying, grind and journey, I always give flowers to people that I had the courage to, work with, or, people that I say I look up to, or things of that nature that paved the way. Like, you always gotta give them their flowers while they're here, while they're able to receive them. So that's the first thing. As they put out a little video, nice little video tribute to Art Monk. You had the posse in there, Gary Clark, and who's the other one? Let me see. Again, this is me showing my age here. I forgot. It was Gary Clark and not Charlie Brown. I'm burnt. I literally just saw his name too. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Ricky Sanders. There we go. There you go, brain. The posse there, they all were there. Josh Hurst was there. Loved it, like he was front and center. And something that I just love about what Josh Hurst does, man, it's like he speaks from a fan perspective, right? Like, obviously he's the owner of the team, but he was a fan of the team first and foremost, and he speaks from within that. Like, he talks about how he was a fan growing up, how he watched guys like Art Monk, and he looked up to these guys and stuff like that. So it's just fun that we're getting these things taken care of, man. So shout out to Art Monk, shout out to the Washington Commanders organization for doing something that should have been done a long time ago, and we're cleaning up a mess that was created by once horrible owner. Now, let's go ahead and get to some of the comments, and we'll get to the next topic here, because we are about to get very, very messy, if you know what I'm saying. Eagles fans are going to be pissed off. So he said, Andrew Bishop says, "What's up, Juan? What it do, Andrew? How you doing, man?" Ebony says, "Hi, how you doing, Ebony? Appreciate you for stopping by. Appreciate you for checking out the page. What's good? What's good, Brody? How you? Appreciate you for stopping by. Shout out to my brother right there. Antoinette Bradley says, "What's up, Juan? I appreciate you, fam, keeping up with all the news, considering the Commanders. Of course, this is what I do, man. I love to do this. My dream is to one day work for them. So, we gonna keep chasing that." Nicole says, "What's up? What's up, Nicole?" Nicole says, "Are we going to pay Scurry Terry? Hopefully. Look. I have a picture right here. As you guys know, or if you don't know, Scurry Terry, let me see here. Where is it at? Did I put it up here? Scurry Terry was spotted. You know what I'm saying? He was spotted in an Eastern Motors commercial today. And of course, look, right? We know Terry McLaurin is this something that he's always gonna do, right? Even if this wasn't like he wasn't about to get paid or whatever, he would have still been doing this. So this is, you can take this with a grain of salt, but it feels like the step in the right direction, right? Like, since he left, OTAs back in the spring, this probably is his first time back in the DMV area, so it feels like the step in the right direction, man. You know what I'm saying? And then with Garrett Wilson getting paid yesterday, I feel like at some point it'll get done, right? Steven Chisholm says Wilson signing the extension just blew up Terry's value. He's good, but not proven in the clutch department or anywhere close to the leader Terry is. And that's a great point that you brought up too, Steven, because that's something that I really wanted to talk about. People are saying Terry McLaurin, Garrett Wilson deserved his contract, which is for sure. He's one of the better young up and coming wide receivers in the league. Don't get me wrong, but people are making the comparison that him and Terry McLaurin should be getting paid the same amount of money. And the reason why people feel like Terry and Garrett Wilson should be getting paid the same amount of money is kind of blasphemy to me, because a lot of people are saying Garrett Wilson is younger and the trajectory he'll be, is higher because he's younger. And that's a fair point. But even within the 6 years that Terry McLaurin that's been in the league, I have not seen Garrett Wilson do what Terry McLaurin has done outside of getting 1,000-yard seasons, right? Like, you can say he's had trash quarterbacks and etc., but I still think what Terry McLaurin has done nets him at least $2 million more than Garrett Wilson, right? Like, Garrett Wilson's getting paid what, roughly 30 mil a year, 31 mil a year, like roughly that, which is cool. But I think now with him getting paid that, Terry's contract talk doesn't start until you get to 32, 33.5 million. Like, I definitely think Terry McLaurin deserves more than Garrett Wilson. I get Garrett Wilson's 24, Terry McLaurin will be 30. So the age gap is very, very huge. And that's probably why they gave him the extension early, because he still has 2 years left on his current deal, which is smart by the Jets. So his value doesn't rise up too much. But that being said, Terry McLaurin is still a top 10 receiver in the league. You cannot say that for the same for Garrett Wilson at this point. We don't know what he'll eventually turn into. Maybe he'll turn into a top 10 receiver, but Justin Fields is his quarterback. Like, I'm not sure how likely that truly is. So I personally think Terry McLaurin definitely, with Garrett Wilson getting paid, I definitely feel like that blew up Terry McLaurin's value for sure. I'm getting scared. Nah, ain't no reason to get scared. I'm not gonna lie to you. Today, what is the day that I said I would start to get worried? That Terry McLaurin is not getting paid. Not that he's not getting paid, but today is the day that I would start to get, worried and start to be, like, what's going on. But this picture right here kind of gives me some confidence. I don't know. I know it has nothing to really do with the Washington Commanders in terms of contract talks, but I don't know. I just feel like Terry's gonna get it done, man. I'm not gonna lie. Been watching old games, playoffs, and Super Bowls. Art Monk was an absolute beast and OG that dominated even later in his career. Clutch, amazing. Yeah, man. Art Monk is one of the greatest Commanders or Redskin players of all time, and definitely deserved his flowers. Helped the Washington Commanders be so successful throughout the years of Super Bowl runs, playoff runs. So definitely long overdue, and I'm glad that he's getting his jersey retired. It will be live at the Seahawks game when they will be retiring his jersey. Ebony says it's good that they're retiring his jersey. They show him respect and appreciation for sure. Again, something that is long overdue. Art Monk should have had his jersey retired. That's without a question. Chamberlain says Joe Theismann definitely should have his jersey retired, and Ricky Sanders. Ricky Sanders is what I was thinking of. Yeah, y'all think Joe Theismann deserves to have his jersey retired, guys? Leave it in the comment section. For all the people that watch Joe Theismann lead us to Super Bowls, break his leg and stuff like that. Like, do y'all think he deserves to have his jersey retired? That's a good question. Joe Theismann potentially having his jersey retired. Who do y'all honestly think would be next if we was to in fact retire another Washington Commanders player jersey? Steven Chisholm says old enough to have seen Art play and Durrell. Going back to the old games just reinforced how special they really were. Another player that needs more recognition is Brian Mitchell. I think B. Mitch is a guy that's always going to often be respected in this community, and he's roughly got his recognition deserved for sure. And with him being on radio and TV around the area, so like I'm B. Mitch definitely gets his flowers. And he'll never not be forgotten about. Let's just go with that, because we know he's one of the greatest kick returners of all time, and just overall great football player. So B Mitch will always be here. Shout out to my guy Tyus. Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm still gonna do it in the actual in a pre-recorded video. But shout out to my guy Tyus, who I've officially got his first ever. Let me see here. Tyus, my man, got his first ever college offer yesterday. So everyone, his flowers in the comment section. My young brother got his first ever college offer. As he's about to etch into the stone of the collegiate ranks. So if you guys could do me a favor and say W Tyus in the chat or whatever, just congratulate Tyus for getting the collegiate offer to play ball at the next level. Definitely been supporting me for a very, very long time. So you definitely are always gonna be somebody that I'm always gonna rock with, and definitely go out there and hoop my brother at the next level, bro. Shout out to you, first of many, definitely first of many for sure. Anton Bradley says Art Monk is hands down the clutch GOAT wide receiver. HTTR HTTC, yes sir. Got the jersey on now. Don't ask me if I've ever seen him play, because y'all know I haven't, but I'm always gonna support the OGs, man. For sure. Ebony Wright says I'm always up in the cut. Yes, appreciate you. Say I'm good, Brody. That's what's up, my brother. I'm glad to hear that you doing all right, bro. For sure. Brent says Eagles fans don't look at it from a throwing perspective with damn near no weapons. LOL. They talk about how can y'all penalize him for that with all those weapons? He should have been MVP but fell short. He's not elite enough. 49ers receivers now barking about not getting paid enough. Everyone wants to get paid. AP paid Terry as it's getting more expensive by the day. And that's all I was really saying to people, man, is that Terry McLaurin, the longer we wait, the more it's probably going to get for Terry McLaurin, especially after the Garrett Wilson contract. Like, I get it, bro, the age, but Terry deserves more than Garrett Wilson at this point of his career. I'm really being honest. Chamberlain says Eagles Nation lives with misery. They have the reputation of booing at everything. Man, what, last year they were booing at Nick Sirianni, and Nick Sirianni was barking back at him like, don't let this Super Bowl that they won make you forget about them wanting Nick Sirianni fired. Like, let's be honest. Before this Super Bowl ring, before the contract extension of Nick Sirianni, they just wanted him gone. They just wanted him out of the building not too long ago, as they were having some inside turmoil throughout their season, right? Like, they had Jalen, they asked AJ Brown what's going on with the offense, and he said the passing game. Like, these guys, bro, it's so funny, because it just goes to show you how a Super Bowl ring is such great medicine for really what was going on last year. But my guy Jalil, or I hope I said that right, I'm gonna just say Queens. I thought the Giants fans were crybabies. The Eagles fans need to stop crying. Straight baby clowns. Gregory Washington says, I'm looking for that undefeated season. Miami Dolphins had in 1972 are made to be broken. Woo wee. That is a strong statement right there. I'm not gonna lie. To say you're looking for Washington to go 17-0 in a regular season, man, wow. I don't know if I want that. I'm not gonna lie, because it always feels like it's added pressure on you once you make it to the postseason. Like, every single week, it's more pressure than just it being a regular game. So if we was to go 17-0, I feel like I would be more nervous to be in the playoffs than if we were to just make it regularly. I mean, but if they go out there and win 17 games straight, that would be insane. I'm not gonna lie to you, that would probably be insane. But the likelihood of that happening is probably not possible. I'm not gonna say not possible, but not it's not realistic at this point. Especially 1972 was so long ago. Football was so different. There's so many different ways to win and find ways to beat teams that are better than you, i.e. look what we did versus the Lions last year. So Definitely is something that would be great, but I don't know if it's possible. Chamberlain says this happened in 22 and he was signed in late July. Yeah, definitely did. Lee Lewis says, "What's up, Juan? Hope you're doing good, man. Respect the art month. I'm doing well. Appreciate you, Lee Lewis, for stopping by. And yes, sir, you already know. Respect to the GOAT, Art Monk." Chamberlain says, "Won our first Super Bowl and was MVP." Ooh, okay. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that. So Art Monk, he won. He was a part of the team that won our first Lombardi and was Super Bowl MVP that year, right? So he won 1983 Super Bowl, huh? Dang, so Art Monk was here for a long time, huh? Was it from 81 to like 90? Let me see how long Art Monk was here in Washington for. That's crazy. If he won all three Super Bowls, bro. He's 67. I did not know Art Monk was that old. I'm not gonna lie. Bro. Watching that video, Art Monk does not look that old, bro. He does not look 67. I'm not gonna lie to you. So Art Monk got into the league in 1980, and he spent basically all of his career up into the final 2 years with the Jets and then the Eagles at 37 and 38 years old. Dang, Art was supposed to finish off with a commander, man. I ain't gonna lie. People always talk about Daryl Green, being the commander, the ultimate commander because he spent his whole career here. Yo, Art Monk ain't go nowhere till he was 37. And he got with us in 1980 at 23 and spent his whole entire career with the Washington Redskins. Not gonna lie to you, bro. 3-time Super Bowl champion, Hall of Famer. Now finally getting 3-time Super Bowl champ, 3-time Pro Bowler, 1-time All Pro. Definitely shout out to Art Monk, bro. Shout out to Art Monk W. Is it true we have not talked to Terry in months? I'm not sure if that's true or not. I don't think it is because Dan Quinn recently spoke to or they said Dan Quinn recently talked to like a what's his name? Is it Jeremy Fowler or somebody like that? Or Josh Palmer had recently came out and said that they were talking, they've been in contact all season long, like him and Dan Quinn and Terry. So I highly doubt that's the case. Not gonna lie to you. Definitely got my Art Monk jersey, the best wide receiver that ever wore a Redskin jersey. Okay. Jersey. Shout out all love one. Yes, so you already know. Shout out to my guy Tyus, man. Shout out to my guy Tyus for sure. Think he meant Theismann. Yeah, Joe Theismann. Then Theismann number get retired, but Haskins got it. I don't know if it was retired, but I think Haskins had asked him, could he wear it? I don't think it was retired at the time. I don't think so. No. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here as we have the Philadelphia Eagles fans pissed that Jaden Daniels is already considered a top 5 quarterback in the league. Look at here what they have to say after that list came out yesterday. It says sorry, but the NFL ranking Jaden Daniels over to Jaden Daniels, who has one NFL season over a Super Bowl winning Jalen Hurts, is such a joke. And in my opinion, I couldn't disagree with that more. And the reason that I disagree with that is because we're going to look at this list now. Take a look at this list, ladies and gentlemen. This is the list that he was referring to, and every other Eagles fan are referring to as to being racist and biased and whatever may have you. They're coming up with every excuse in the book as to why this list does not make sense. And of course, make sure y'all follow Brandon, aka J Daniels MVP, on Twitter for holding it down. So the 10 quarterbacks ranked by league executives, coaches, and scouts. Coming in at number 10, you have Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield has found yet another home in Tampa Bay after his departure with the Rams, Panthers, etc. He again revived his career as he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL last season, which Baker Mayfield had one of the better seasons of his career last year. If we're being completely honest about it, Baker Mayfield was probably the one of the best quarterbacks last season as he threw for 4,500 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, and 16 interceptions. Baker Mayfield is an absolute baller, absolute stud. And he definitely revived his career after going to Tampa Bay. And I definitely think Baker, in my opinion, it's just me being honest, I would take Baker Mayfield over Justin Hurts. I'm being honest. Because I think a lot of things people have to understand about this list is they look at the team and look at the success of the team and say, well, Jalen Hurts should be top 5 because the Eagles team is good and winning is the only thing that they love to bring up when it comes to talking about success of Jalen Hurts. Of course, yeah, he wins. We're not taking that away from him, but winning is a team stat, though, right? Like when they're compiling these top 10 quarterback lists and top 10 player lists, they're not just talking about winning. Because if they were talking about winning before last season, a guy like, I would say, well, yeah, even our guy, Jaden Daniels, wouldn't be on this list, right? But they're looking at Joe Burrow, number 3 in the league. They're coming off of a horrible piss poor season outside of him in the offense, of course. But they probably would drop him down on the list if they were talking about just winning. Not saying he'll be off the list, but they would be talking about winning. If winning was the whole purpose of it, Jared Goff would probably be up here in the top 4, top 3, right? Because it's about winning, but that's not what it's about when it comes to this conversation. They're literally talking about skill, quarterbacks that can lead their team to victory in terms of taking over a squad, putting the team on their back. Go win us the game with no help. You go be Superman and you find a way to win us this game. That is what this top 10 list is about. And you look at everybody on this list that's in the top 7, they can do that. I think Baker Mayfield can. He's shown it time and time again that he can do that, but they have him at 10. I would take Jalen Hurts over Jared Goff. I would. But that's the only person that I probably would take over Jared Goff or over Jalen Hurts. I'll put Jalen, if I was doing this list, I would put Mahomes. I'll put Allen 1. I'll put Jackson 2, Burrow 3, and Mahomes 4. That's just my list. And I get it, right? Juan, you're crazy. Mahomes is still, one of the better quarterbacks, best quarterback in the league, and he had a down year somewhat, but still found a way to be successful. So knock yourself out if Mahomes is still number 1 for you. But number 1 for me in terms of my credentials of just ultra talented, being able to do everything, put a team on his back, Allen's number 1, Jackson 2, Burrow 3, Mahomes is 4. Then 5 would be Daniels for sure. But even if you wanted to make the argument for Stafford or Herbert to be 5, I can't even be mad at that. Because not only did they had multiple seasons in which they've shown to be able to do what Jaden Daniels did that one year, but they're shown time and time again with teams that aren't nearly as good as the Eagles to go out and be successful year in and year out. I mean, just take Justin Herbert for an example. He's always putting the Chargers on his back, always having them in position to win, whether it's him being healthy, whether it's him, playing with broken ribs or broken fingers, whatever. Like, he's always banged up, but finding ways to still be successful and still leading his team to a potential playoff berth. Not truly having a number 1 receiver since Keenan Allen left and Mike Williams early on, but like, despite everything not being perfect around Herbert, he's still been one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Same with Matthew Stafford for a very, very long time in Detroit. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, but never got the recognition that he deserves because overall the team success was piss poor. He goes to LA and he's still successfully been able to been able to be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, regardless of his age and regardless of him always being banged up. He still went there and won a Super Bowl, still went there and throws the piss out of a ball, still went there and still was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, his first year in LA, thrown for 4,886 yards, 41 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. LA, the second year he got hurt, but the third year, 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 3,900 yards. And then last season, 20 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 3,700 passing yards. And he was banged up for some of these years as well. And we can't forget, like, they were this close. They were this close to beating the Philadelphia Eagles in that division round. Like, they were that close. So I definitely think guys like Herbert, Stafford could be argued to be number 5. And the only reason that you could say that is only because they have had more years than Jaden Daniels. But an overall player that I think can throw the ball, lead a team, run, do everything that you need out of a quarterback, Jaden Daniels is definitely top in the top 5 discussion already. And that's the thing that I think they don't understand and they can't really get with, is the fact that a guy of this caliber is this good, this fast, and this early. That's the thing that they can't seem to understand. And I would be pissed off too if my quarterback has won a Super Bowl, my quarterback has done all this great stuff, but he still isn't top 5. I'd be pissed off too if a guy like Jaden Daniels somewhat appeared in my division and took it over within a year. But real ball knowers know, and real people that are going to understand and be realistic is to know, like, they see talent when they see talent, bro. Like, you put Jaden Daniels on the Philadelphia Eagles last year, they go undefeated and they win a Super Bowl. You put Jalen Hurts on the Washington Commanders last year, we probably win 6 games. That's the difference between one of those ones and a guy that's solid, that's good. Is Jalen Hurts the top 10 quarterback in this league? For sure, you can throw him in that discussion. That's why I have him at 8. I have him at 8. Well, actually, I probably have him at 9 because I have Baker Mayfield over Goff. I'll take Baker Mayfield over Goff, and I'll put Baker Mayfield at 8. I'll put Hurts at 9 and Goff at 10. He's for sure a top 10 quarterback, but to be asked in the top 5 discussion is something that they're asking for a little bit too much for, because all 5 of these guys are players that can lead a team and put a team on their back and carry a team to a successful season. And really, you could say this is the first 7, to be honest with you, first 7. But I'm not really into it with these guys anymore because they really don't know, man. They're Eagles fans at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? They're Eagles fans. So of course they're going to find ways to feel some type of way. Steven Chisholm says, great analysis, Juan. Always act and enjoy your takes. I appreciate you, Steven, so much for supporting. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Wise Man says, what's good, Juan? What's good, Wise Man? How you doing? YT Rennie says 26 won them that Rams game for sure. Gurry says Jalen has beat everyone on that list 1 through 5. Also has went to the Super Bowl twice. So Gurry, again, we're not denying, first of all, that Hurts isn't a top 10 quarterback. We're not denying that the Eagles' success has been great the past couple of seasons and going to Super Bowl and winning 1. But again, when they look at this list and they're compiling a list of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL, they're going off of skill, ability to put a team on his back, and win on a consistent basis, and that's not Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is a product of his environment, and is that his fault? No, it's not. We're not telling you to not build a great team around your quarterback. You're doing what you're supposed to do. But let me ask you this, Gurry. If Jalen Hurts was on the Washington Commanders last season, do they do the same thing that they did this year, which was go to the NFC Championship? Does Jalen Hurts lead the Washington Commanders to the NFC Championship? Lamar Jackson is not a product of his environment. We're not going to sit up here and act like Lamar Jackson isn't a unicorn. Lamar Jackson possesses a talent that nobody else on this list possesses. We're not going to act like Lamar Jackson did not carry his team. They just got him a true legit running back in Derrick Henry last year. They, in my opinion, still it's questionable that they have a legit number one receiver. I like Zay Flowers, but how legit are we that he's a number one receiver? Right? They've only had Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews for years. And he still led his team to multiple AFC Championship appearances and stuff like that. He says if you put Mahomes on the Commanders, they don't win or beat the Eagles. That's blasphemy. That's blasphemy right there. I can't agree with that take. If Mahomes was on the Commanders, they don't win or beat the Eagles. Again, Patrick Mahomes had a down year for sure with his players being hurt, offensive line being trash. But we're not going to sit up here and act like Mahomes is all of a sudden not still arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. You put Mahomes on the Commanders last year, they do the exact same thing. That's why Jaden Daniels is in the top 5 discussion, because they think of him trajectory-wise on the same level as they think of Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, Jackson. Says, bro, letting the delusion / bias get to him. Okay, any Eagles fans try to say Hurts' name 100,000 times because case closed. He's not top 5. Exactly. There you go. There you go, Scott. They ain't doing that because they don't ride for their QB1 like that. They don't think that highly of him, man. Come on, man. Again, Jalen Hurts is the top 10 quarterback in this league. Him winning that Super Bowl proved that. But to be butthurt that he's not in the top 5 discussion, come on, man. You say that he beat 1 through 5 on this list, cool. But winning is a team stat. This list is not made up of team success. If that was the case, based off of last year, Burrow would not be number 3. Goff would probably be number 3. Daniels probably wouldn't be top 5. If he's on this list, he would probably be lower because this was the first year Washington was truly relevant and successful. This list is not based off of wins and Super Bowl wins only. This is based off of how they view your quarterback. And they view your quarterback as a top 10 guy, but he's not one of those guys. And what is so wrong with that? You still win, right? Says when we go back to the bowl and what will they say then? Let me see Jalen Hurts right quick. Has Jalen Hurts even thrown for 4,000 yards before? Let me see something. Bro, Jalen Hurts threw for... Oh, I'm dead. I'm done. I'm done having this conversation. I'm done. Y'all, this man, Jalen Hurts, threw for 2,000 yards last year. I'm done. This man didn't even throw for 3,000 yards last year. And we're having a conversation based off of, if we talk about last year, since y'all want to bring up y'all winning the Super Bowl, y'all won that Super Bowl because of Saquon Barkley and that defense. So that goes to show you, if you want to talk about team success as to why Jalen Hurts should be, or winning should be the reason why Jalen Hurts should be top 5, he's not even the reason you all win. 18 touchdowns last year? Get the hell out of here, man. Get out of here. Is the Eagles a good team? Yes. Is Jalen Hurts a top 10 quarterback? Winning the Super Bowl putting you in that discussion. Did he have a damn good game in that Super Bowl? Yes. Does he always tend to make the big plays in the big moments? Yes. But this list is made up based off of how they view your quarterback as one of those ones. Can he put a team on his back and lead them to victory for a consistent basis? And Jalen Hurts has not shown that yet. This man didn't even throw for 3K yards last year. Quit talking to me. Oh my God, winning is a team stat with Mahomes, but not Hurts. What do you mean? Winning is a team stat regardless of who it is. I never said it wasn't. It's always been a team stat. Mahomes, the difference between Hurts and Mahomes is Mahomes has literally. Let me go to Mahomes right quick, bro. Mahomes, because I could easily say he's been to 5 Super Bowls already, and what like doesn't lose in the AFC Championship game. I could easily say that, but that's technically what a team stat. But even in a bad year of Patrick Mahomes, he's still thrown for nearly 4,000 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. In 2023, he threw for 4,100 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. In 2022, he threw for 5,250 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. The year before that, in 2021, he threw for 4,839 yards, 37 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. The year before that, in 2020, he threw for 4,740 yards and 38 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. The year before that, he threw for 4,031 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. The year before that, 2018, 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. So even if you don't want to talk about the team success that Patrick Mahomes had, that is solely him. And you see the difference. It's levels, bro. It is levels to that. And that is the kind of trajectory they think Jaden Daniels can be on. Lamar Jackson should have won MVP last year. Should have been a 3-time MVP winner. But he suffered from voters' fatigue, unfortunately. And the thing is, I would have been a Jalen Hurts fan if he wasn't on the Eagles. I was a Hurts fan, but Philly just had to draft him. I wish exactly. Nobody hates Jalen Hurts. Nobody hates Jalen Hurts. This is just real. Philly finishes 3rd in the NFC East behind Dallas. See, like, what are we talking about? That's what I'm saying. Hurts is top 15 quarterback. Holmes could put a team on his back better than any QB in this league, for sure. For sure. Every D in the division got better this offseason. Saquon will be facing much tougher defenses going forward. I definitely could see that. I definitely could see Saquon Barkley facing a much tougher defense moving forward. Still think he'll have a really good season and still be one of the best running backs in the league, but it probably won't be as easy as it was last year for Mr. Saquon Barkley. But the point is, Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback in this league. But Jalen Hurts simply is not one of those ones. That is why he's not in the top 5 discussion. Simple as that. And it's okay. Because at the end of the day, your GM, Howie Roseman, is such a freaking genius that he put a freaking God squad around him to where he doesn't have to be put in a situation that Jaden Daniels was in, or these other top 5 quarterbacks are in. But man, oh man, that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Stay tuned for the content as I'll be dropping a video very, very shortly on the Washington Commanders, and we'll see what exactly we do. Oh my God, hold on. Terry McLaurin actually spoke to the media and he's upset. Hold on, guys. Hold on, listen to this.
Yeah, I've been pretty frustrated. I'm not gonna lie. Everything that has transpired up to this point has been disappointing and frustrating. I wanted to continue my career here. Created my life here. My wife and I have bought our first home here, so this has been somewhere where I've always wanted to be. And just to see how things have played out been disappointed. Obviously, I understand everything's a business, but at the same time, like, you know, I want to put myself in a position where, you know, I'm valued and, you know, I feel appreciated and things like that. And, you know, unfortunately, that hasn't transpired the way I wanted to. So, you know, I'm just trying to take things day by day. And,
you know, I think it's kind of funny. I think
I'm calling cop, bruh. Hold up. Before we get about it, I know I was about to leave, but bro, I'm calling cap, bro. That don't even sound like Terry, bro. Bro, hold on. That Terry, that doesn't even sound like Terry, bro. That just sounds like agent speak right there, dog. That sounds like his agent being in his ear, telling him to go say that so he can try to pinch Washington into getting. Do y'all hear how nervous he sounds to speak and stuff? Like, bro, that I'm calling cap, bro. That's not Terry McLaurin, bro. That's not Terry, bro.
yeah, I've been pretty frustrated. I'm not gonna lie. You know, everything that has transpired.
Nah, gang. I ain't gonna lie. I'm about to go make that video right now, y'all. That it definitely hurts hearing that, but I'm not buying that. Am I the only one that just feels like that's such like that's so cap, bro? Like just for media purposes only. Like I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not buying the fact that that like Terry really feels that way, but like nah, not like a hostage video. It just seems like it's forced or it's fake. Like that's not Terry, bro. Like that don't seem like how he really would feel, bro. But I'm gonna go ahead and make that video right now, actually. Man, hold on. What the heck? Did y'all peep the Chargers' new unis? These joints are nice. The all yellow unis is OC. Look at these joints. That's fire. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Now that I've seen that video, I'm gonna go ahead and make that video. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. As always, we'll be live again tomorrow with the Burgundy Breakdown. And then on my own again next Tuesday as well. We try to do this every Tuesday. So I'll catch y'all around the same time next week, regardless. He isn't wrong though. How can you not just have a package ready to go for the soul of the team for the past 5 years? That's true. That is definitely true. And then again, if he truly is frustrated, I'm not mad at him at all. I'm just not buying it. Like it just sounds like this is what his agent's telling him to say just so he can get, you know, the bread. But hey, we'll see. We'll stay we'll stay locked in. I mean, this is not the encouraging update that I thought we would hear, but I'll keep y'all updated as I'll be posting a video a little bit later on. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy out there. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Love each and every one of y'all. Y'all be easy. Y'all be safe. Peace.